A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about dual signs. What are they? How do they function? And how do they reflect their qualities in our lives? But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and your suggestions there. What are the dual signs? The dual signs are Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, and the sign of Sagittarius. How do the dual signs function? Well, there are many points that can be discussed about the dual signs, but the focal point that we are going to take up today are its multiplicity, the ability to multitask, talents, areas in which there is a need for improvement, and finally, the one major minus point that it has, that is scatterbrain. So let's begin with multiplicity. As the name suggests, dual means more than one. And planets sitting in these signs, that is the sign of Sagittarius, the sign of Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. When there are any planets sitting there, they, in their course of events that unfold, show more than one event in life. How do I make that more clear? So, supposing you have a fifth lord sitting in a sign, dual sign, in that case, you have a chance, a fair good chance of having more than children, one child, multiple children, maybe two, maybe three. Also, if you have your fifth lord sitting here, then it's also a chance that you can also have more than one affair in life, because fifth house also shows your love interests. If the fifth house lord is sitting here, it is a possibility that you can invest in a diverse portfolio. Why? Because fifth house also talks about shares and debentures. When we talk about the seventh lord or Venus, or both of them placed in a dual sign, as per Faldipika, the chances of more than one marriage goes up very high. So, if you have your 10th lord placed in this sign, that means it's likely that you can change jobs number of times and you can have work in more than one area of life. That is all about multiplicity. Now let's come and talk about multitasking. What is multitasking? That is, you're doing something and simultaneously you have the ability to start or work on something else also. So these people, again, I take the reference of 10th Lord. If you have your 10th Lord posited in one place, then it means one of these dual signs, it means you can invest, or you can do your own business, and you can also do a job on the side. You can have your own business also. If your fifth lord is placed here, as I said earlier, your fifth house talks about investments, the investments you make. The fifth house also talks about working in an MNC or doing a PR job. So for people who have their fifth lord placed in a dual sign, it's quite often seen that they might just also work in an investing company or make investments of their own and do a job, a PR job, or whatever job that they want to do. If you have your third lord placed in this sign or any one of the dual signs, then you might see that you can be writing very well, you could be drawing very well, because the third house is a creative house. It's the house of writing, it's the house of drawing, it's the house of dance and drama. So you can do all these things very well, and they can be multiple in nature. If you have your 11th lord placed in a dual sign, then you can have income from various sources, more than one sources, and you could be working simultaneously for generating income from a number of sources. So this is about the more than one, or should we say that yes, it is about multitasking. Also, if we have our uh, any lord placed in these dual signs, then it's also showing a potential talent that a person has. So if you are having your Venus placed in a any one of these dual signs, then it's a possibility that you have the potential to develop a lot of art and craft within you, depending if it's in a 3, 11, 5, or a 7th house. But if it's in the 2 or 7th house, or for that matter, even in the 8th house, then there is a chance that you can have a huge amount of income, and you can learn to study hard and generate a lot of income for yourself. That's the potential that you have. When we talk about Venus in the 12th house, the potential that you have is that you can go international. But how does that work out? Because another point that we needed to see is the area of talent that or improvement that a person needs to show. So, how do we define or how do we expand on that? Supposing somebody has their 7th lord placed in one of the dual signs, that means your associations with your partner is something that you need to improve on in this lifetime. It could also mean that it could be those business partners, or you could be needing to work with your personal partner also. How would it differ from sign to sign? Yes, that's a good question, because we need to understand with the change in sign, the ability or the area where one needs to work on would change. For example, if the 7th lord was placed in Gemini, then you need to be more in friendly with your spouse. You need to focus more on how much to talk and how to solve issues in a compatible manner. When we talk about this very 7th lord placed in Virgo, Virgo is the house of doing, is the house of having the discretion. So knowing that you need to help the person physically, have the discretion to understand what is it that you can take for yourself to be done with, to do, and what you can give to your partner to do. When we talk about the sign of Pisces, here you need to be more generous towards your partner. You need to take care more in terms of monetary and happiness for the partner, that takes precedence. And when we talk about the sign of Sagittarius, it's more like a guide, it's more like a mentor, that you have to show the path to your partner. So again, all the 4 signs will give very different results for the very same lord, that is the 7th lord placed there. We can take an example of the 3rd house lord also. If the 3rd house lord is placed in the sign of Gemini, we know we need to make an improvement in our speech. We know that we need to make an improvement in our areas of work, like our thinking, our writing, our drawing, etc. Not only that, once we've done that, we can develop a talent, and we can also do good in those very areas. If you are talking about this very 3rd lord placed in the sign of Sagittarius, then we understand that before we speak, how do we improve on our speech? We need to go deep into what is the truth, understand it, and then when we talk, we will have a lot of substantial ground behind us to be able to make an impression, because the 3rd lord talks about your oratorship. So this is how we can see how these planets can be improved on in different signs. Now, the final thing that we need to understand is, because these people are doing so much, they are always multitasking, they are seamlessly working from one place to another. What actually can happen is that they can be scatterbrained. Why do we say that? Because they would end up doing a lot of things here and there without much of a registration, by means of either writing down or putting things very clear. So sometimes a person tends to get jumbled up when they're involved in too many things, and that makes you to really work hard in that area of learning to complete each thing and to be perfect in each area of life. So not to be scattered brain, what we really can do here as a recommendation is learn to write things down and check them, so that we are always on the correct page in life that we need to be. So this is how we can understand the dual signs, and we can know so much more. There's so much more to talk about the dual signs. If you're interested, do write them about them. Do let us know in the chat box, and we will work more towards bringing another video of for the dual signs. So till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.